Hello and welcome back for the very first time to this channel. I am William Gwyn and today I'm going to be giving a mid-month update for February. In case you don't know, I run another channel with my brother Ed called The Brothers Gwyn, and that is the priority channel, and so I give monthly updates for all the books that I've read and planning to read over on there. So I don't do monthly updates as such on this channel, but I do it in the middle of the month. So over on my February TBR video on The Brothers Gwyn, I said that I was planning to read 9 books. Well, that may have been a little bit ambitious because this month has been far more busy than I thought it would be, and so I've only finished 2 books so far. There's another 2 that I'm close to the end, but yes, I'm a bit behind the planning. But let's talk about what I've read so far. Actually, let me amend that because I actually read 3 books in February, but we'll get to that in a second. The first one I read was Soulsmith by Will White. This is book 2 in the Cradle series, which has become very renowned. It's labelled as progression fantasy, which basically means that our main protagonist, our main character, starts off at the lowest level of society in terms of power and then increases, a bit like a game, but then at the same time it doesn't feel like a game, which is very enjoyable. I'm not sure how it'll feel later on in the series, but so far it feels very natural and organic. And so I read book 1 physically, well, on the Kindle, but I read it with my eyes, so physically. And then I was recommended to try this series on Audible because it's narrated by Travis Baldry, the author of the awesome Legends and Lattes. I've actually done a review for it on the channel, so do go check that out if you are interested in that. But anyway, so I tried it out on Audible, really enjoyed it, great sequel. And yeah, I'm really engaged in this series. Apparently the first 2 books are the weakest, and people say, oh, at least get to book 3 because that's where it really kicks off. So the fact that I'm already really enjoying it spells great things for how this series is going to go. And fingers crossed that comes true. So yeah, really enjoyed it. I think I'll read it physically because they're shorter books. It doesn't take too long. And I did really enjoy the Audible. So it's great to know that I've got that option in the future where if I've got a lot of my physical TBR, I can just kind of transfer the Cradle series onto Audible for a month or so. So yeah, my plan is to read 1 a month, and that's going well so far. I've stuck to it. So yeah, it's going as planned. So yeah, Soulsmith was really great, a good way to kick off the reading month. And then I read The Lessons Never Learned by Rob J. Hayes. This is self-published and it is book 2 in the War Eternal series. I read Along the Razor's Edge, I think in December, and I really enjoyed it, and so I've made sure to carry on with the series, and this is great as well. I absolutely love how this series does not go in the directions you're expecting, and it is a lot about the characters. It's character driven. It's a great core cast of those who they have done terrible things, but there's also some redemption arcs along the way, and they're kind of teetering on the edge of making decisions which will change the rest of their lives, and it's very impactful for what they represent and the directions they will go in. And so it's very it's a great character exploration in that sense, and looking at the human condition as well. And Rob J. Hayes does a great job of supplying some really powerful moments. He allows for there to be a lot of action, which is really fast paced and takes you along on a roller coaster of a ride, but he makes sure to give you the slower moments as well of reflection and retrospection of the characters internally, but also talking to others. And I really enjoyed that. I love to see that in a book. I think it's not there enough. I think quite a few books really caught up in the action, and I love a great deal of action, but you need those smaller powerful moments to really make the action more powerful, in my opinion anyway. And Rob J. Hayes did a great job with The Lessons Never Learned. And then the third book, yes, there's a third, I lied earlier when I said 2. The third book I read in February was The Tyranny of Faith by Richard Swan. I've done a review of this over on the Brothers Gwyn channel with my awesome brother Ed. And so yeah, if you want to check out my full thoughts on this book, then head to that review. But in short, I really enjoyed it. So this is book 2 of the Empire of the Wolf trilogy. I believe it will be a trilogy. Book 3 is not released yet. Book 2 was released last week, and I was very lucky to be granted early access through NetGalley, and so I really enjoyed it. Great sequel. It takes what was really good about book 1 and then elevates it. As we follow the main character. Well, her name is Helena, but she is commenting on the life of Sir Conrad von Volt, who she's a bit like a clerk to. She's an assistant, like an apprentice. And Conrad von Volt is an emperor's justice, so he carries out the law in this empire, the Sovereign Empire. He is judge, jury, and executioner all in one, a great amount of power. And I love how this book kind of grapples with the idea of power, the difference between law and justice, and how sometimes they can't both be carried out. And is it up to us to take that decision into our own hands? And so yeah, some philosophical questions among there, but it's a great fantasy book with a fresh take on the genre, which I'm really looking forward to reading the next book in the series, the finale. So yeah, I'm really enjoying kind of go. I really enjoyed talking about this book in my review with my brother. So as I said, do go over there and check it out. It's a great series. Do please check it out as well, because this could be a favourite of yours. This is one that I think if it clicks with you, it really clicks with you, and it will go right up to the very top of your favourites of all time. And if you have read The Justice of Kings and The Tyranny of Faith, do go check out the chat that Richard Swan did with the Library of Alexandria, the awesome Alan, over on his channel. And that's a great chat, filled with spoilers though, so don't head over there if you've not read the books. But if you have, then that's a great nugget you can get to afterwards. So it's like a reward, isn't it? You finish the book and you get to go listen to these two chat, which is just awesome. And I loved following that chat. So yeah, that is what I read in February, but now let's get on to what I'm currently reading. So I am currently listening to The Dragon Republic, Book 2 of the Poppy War trilogy by Rebecca F. Kuang. And the Poppy War, there was aspects that I really enjoyed, I thought were incredible, especially the writing style and the storytelling was brilliant. But there are other aspects that it didn't feel realistic to me, so it felt a bit jarring at times, like someone who's never been taught any military arts, and then at like age 14 they do a month of training and then they suddenly beat people who have been doing it for 10, 15 years of their life, which it jarred me slightly, but it's not enough. It wasn't so huge that it ruined the book. It was still enjoyable, and because there are aspects I absolutely adored, and I also love Rebecca F. Kuang's Babel, which is there, and yeah, that's an incredible book. Then I decided to carry on with the series, and so far I'm halfway through The Dragon Republic and really enjoying it. I think it's it really improves on book 1, because as I said, my flaw with book 1 was the reality, the realism. I know it's weird saying realism in the fantasy genre, but still, that's what we want. We want immersion, and so yeah, that's what I'm getting in The Dragon Republic. On top of all those things that were done really well in book 1, we've got this added layer of immersion, in my opinion anyway. I know a lot of people love book 1, and I think if you do, you'll love book 2 even more. And then the other book that I'm currently reading is Imperium, throwing some historical fiction into the mix, and this is by Robert Harris, book 1 of the Cicero trilogy. And I'm going to mention Alan again, so he's been doing a read long on his channel of this trilogy, 1 book a month, and I'm behind because they read Imperium in January, so I'm rapidly trying to catch up, and I think it's brilliant so far. So it's very political but very engaging, and it's not slow paced like a lot of political books are. It follows the character of Cicero, who was a real historical figure in Rome, and so we're seeing figures that we have heard of, or many of us have heard of Pompey, Crassus, and of course Julius Caesar. So it's very interesting seeing a different perspective on them, and Cicero is one of those figures that I've heard a lot about, and I'm very interested in, but at the same time, flipping that around, I don't know much about, so it's great to kind of go through this. Of course, historical fiction isn't completely authentic, but I know Robert Harris has taken a lot, and he's kind of filling in the gaps with what he thinks may have happened. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that perspective on the story. And then now let's get into some events that have happened since I did my last mid-month update, which was in the middle of January. And so I was very lucky to be invited onto an episode of Page Chewing with my brother. So yes, the Brothers Gwyn featured on Page Chewing, and sadly Steve Talks Books couldn't make it, but we had a great chat with Taylor, Made Between the Pages, and author P.L. Stewart, and I absolutely loved it. It was so much fun talking about books, about the historical inspiration, how we love how that kind of features in fantasy, and also the emerging historical fantasy genre, as well as a load of other things that we just love talking about with books. And so yeah, I really enjoyed that, and I'm looking forward to chatting with them more in the future. And do go check that out if you would wish to. I think it will pop up somewhere and I'll put it in the description below. But yeah, I really enjoyed that, and they're such interesting people, so nice, and it was really great talking to them about books. I mean, taking any chance to talk about books is great, but it was even better talking to it with those people. And so yeah, that is the main event. I think the only event really of the last month. I've been uploading videos to the channel as usual, but yeah, let's get on to more of a breakdown of what's happened over the last month, as I did with my first mid-month update in January. So I uploaded 10 videos, 2 shorts between the 16th of January and the 15th of February. I think that I'm going to cut down to 2 videos a week because I'm very busy, hence why I've not been able to read as much. But I'll do some more shorts, so maybe 1 to 2 a week over the next month or so. And so yeah, maybe I'll stick to that. We'll see when I do my mid-month update to March if I've kept to that promise. But I also got 8.7k views and 131 subs for the channel, so it's great to have some new people watching these videos. It's a bit down from how many we got between between December and January, but January is a lot of those kind of end of year summaries, which people seem to enjoy watching. And I've been doing quite a few more reviews on the channel. Please do let me know if there's any books that I've been reading that you would like to see a dedicated review of, because I don't do it for all the books. I don't do reviews of books that I didn't enjoy, because I will be honest on my feelings about them, and you'll hear all about that on my monthly update with my brother. So I will say if I didn't enjoy a book or clicked with me, but I'm one of those who I believe I only want to spend the time highlighting the books that I really enjoy, because no book is objectively amazing or terrible, and so I'd like to use this platform to talk about books that I love, because I don't really enjoy talking about negatively about books. And so yeah, the reviews I do, they'll always be positive. And yeah, so let me know if any of the books that I've said I've enjoyed, if you'd like to see me do a dedicated review of them on the channel. I'd love to do so, because as I said, I'll take any chance to talk about books, especially ones that I love. And so yeah, that is the update, the mid-month update. I've read 3 books, currently reading 2 more. Can I get to all 9 books in February? Maybe not, but I can definitely try my best. I think definitely 6 or 7 we can do. We can definitely do that, but we will see, and I will let everyone know on the Brothers Grimm when I do the monthly update. Oh my gosh, the tongue twisters of mid-month and monthly. I mean, why are they the same, beginning of the same letter? Terrible. That's just a me problem. But thank you everyone so much for watching. Please do let me know how your reading month over the last month has gone. How's February going? And have you read any of these books that I was talking about? And do go head over and watch that episode of Page Chewing if you're interested, because I had a great time, and hopefully you do check it out. That Made Between the Pages has got a great channel, and so if you enjoyed the episode, don't just watch that. She's got a great channel and all different types of books that you should check out as well. But that is it for today, so thank you so much for watching. As I said, let me know how your reading's going, and stay safe.